Is there actually something better than God's unconditional love? The answer is yes. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it is. People who use the term God's unconditional love will often say that conditional love is bad. They would insist that God receives you just as you are, sinful, suffering, confused, just unconditional. But is there something actually better than God's unconditional love? You might say, well, what could possibly be better than the unconditional love of God? Is it really possible there is something more beautiful than this rather vague, abstract word unconditional? When the Bible actually gives us more vivid and specific words, metaphors, and stories. Well, the late Christian counselor David Powlison thinks there is something better. Powlison argues that Jesus Christ opened a way for us to experience the biblical love of God by fulfilling two conditions. First, a life of perfect obedience to the will of God, and a perfect substitutionary death on our behalf. Powlison writes these words, unconditional love? Nope. Something much better. People who now use the word unconditional often communicate an acceptance neutered of our need for what Christ has done for us. Powlison goes on to argue that God's love is actually more than conditional, for it's intended to change those who receive it. Unconditional often connotes you're okay, but there is something wrong with us. The word unconditional may well express the welcome of God, but it does not well express the point of his welcome. Next, Powlison says unconditional love carries a load of cultural baggage, wedded to words like tolerance, acceptance, affirmation, and a philosophy that says love should not impose values, expectations, or beliefs on another. Some will say, if you really love me, you must love me unconditionally. If you want to change me, then you just don't love me at all. But when you look closely at that argument, God's love is very different from these contemporary notions of unconditional love. Let me give you an example. Jesus had an encounter with a young man recorded in Mark's gospel. And it went like this. Jesus, looking at him, loved him and said to him, you lack one thing. Go sell all that you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come, follow me. Now notice, Jesus loved him, yet he sought change. To love what is wrong in or for someone's life is not love, but convenience. God does not accept me just as I am. He loves me despite how I am. He loves me just as Jesus is. He loves me enough to devote my life to renewing me in the image of Jesus. This love is much, much, much better than unconditional love. Powlison goes on to say, perhaps we could call it contra-conditional love of God. Contrary to the conditions for knowing God's blessings, he's blessed me because of Jesus, God's Son. Jesus has fulfilled the conditions on my behalf. Contrary to my due, he loves me, and now I can begin to change, not to earn love, but because of love. We need something better than unconditional love, and we have it in Jesus. Speaking of God's love and mercy, I want to recommend another video that I made that you might find helpful. You could share with a friend. Also, if you've liked this video, please leave me a like. If you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Also, again, share this video with someone you might feel like could be helped by it. Also, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, consider doing so. I am Van Unfiltered.